So, how's your past month been? What were you up to?
Excuse me. My past month has been great, actually, since the
Hmm.
last time we talked. I filmed a short,
Okay.
which was something kind of big for me, something really good. I wrote and directed it. We had a great location, amazing actors. It couldn't have gone any better, like to be honest. And I really wanted a short that encapsulated my voice as a writer,
Yeah.
and I feel really good about it. So we're just heading into post production with it now, and hopefully, like in a month, I'll have a really great calling card that says, "Hey, this is me as a writer," and
Yeah.
good news for you. You don't have to read a giant script. You could just watch this little 12-minute video, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that's the way things are going now. Like even for our directors program that we used to do at HBO, like we used to always have like a pilot concept. So it was probably like a 10 to 12 minute short that we used to have. And, a lot of folks, they get a sense of your style just from that and your directing capability. Obviously, features are great as well, but that just takes so much time and that just is like a
It
whole nother
does, yeah.
it's a whole nother level of things. So I always tell, even for writing, I tell a lot of writers to kind of jump into writing shorts as well. I think it just gets a story in and out really quickly, and if it's something that a manager's already super interested in, they can get an idea of it. But yeah, but no, I'm super excited to be meeting with you again. Like I said before, just how this is gonna go. I'm trying to I want to get an understanding of your writing career so far.
Hmm.
Where your portfolio is at. So I read your script. It was such a fun read,
Oh, thank
and
you.
seeing like where we want to go next with it, and figuring out how we could best help you with your next writing goal or career goal, and guiding you that way. And just in terms of, I would love to kind of just ask about your writing career so far
Yeah.
and just your career in general, because I know you work in TV, so I'd love to kind of just hear a little bit about it.
Yeah, I've most of my career has been producing unscripted TV. I was the executive producer of an MTV show called The Challenge, which has been on since 1998. I've not been there that long, but I was there for a very long time.
Yeah.
Um, and for a while, I would do that job and sort of write scripts on the side. I would enter like all the fellowship programs. I've been finalists in numerous fellowship programs, but sort of never like crossed over the hump, you know?
Hmm.
Um, Around 2018, I decided I would make a web series. I'm like, okay, get some content out there. It
Yeah.
did pretty well. We actually got an Emmy nomination for one of our actors.
Oh wow.
We got written up in a lot of press. It was pretty good. And then, the pandemic came, and I didn't have the pandemic experience of like doing jigsaw puzzles and hanging out. Like it was like the opposite. I was working like 16-hour days. We were
Oh wow.
delivering. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like we delivered episodes on the day of air. Like we were just working nonstop. And at a certain point, I just kind of checked myself, and I was like, I'm kind of getting further from my goals. Like I'm advancing
Yeah.
in this career, but it's like someone else's dream job. So I just
Mhm.
kind of decided to pull back on that, and so now I'm just focusing on my writing. And it's interesting. I always considered myself like a TV writer.
Right.
Um, but I started writing features because I really feel like I needed to write the words "the end." You know,
Yeah.
I needed to like
Yeah.
not launch a world. I needed to just like
Yeah.
I needed to tell a complete story.
Yeah.
Um, so I wrote Tonight Tonight, and I spent a lot of time developing it and outlining it, and then I literally wrote the first draft in a week. I mean, it just
Oh wow,
like
really?
it flew. It was like the most fun I've ever had writing something.
Yeah.
And obviously I took time to polish it up. But I'm really, really happy with that script. I think it kind of encapsulates my voice. And then after that, I wrote another feature called Lucky, and it's about this kind of like down on his luck 30 something addict who ends up getting blackmailed by a 16-year-old to be his mentor. So it's sort of this like kind of like fucked up Karate Kid
Yeah.
like movie.
I like
Um
that.
minus the karate plus
Yeah.
some BMX. So
Yeah.
it's a little different. And then right now I'm kind of like I'm checking myself again, going, okay, Danny, I have written the end on a couple of
Yeah.
features. Like, let's get back to some TV writing. So I'm currently writing a pilot right now. So
Okay.
excited about
Okay,
that.
that's good. And then, if we're just thinking about like, what you're thinking about what your next step looks like for yourself, what does that look like? Are you still kind of polishing up your portfolio before you send it out to managers? Are you ready to kind of, start reaching out to representation? Or are you looking to really produce your things? Like where do you kind of like lie within what your kind of next goal looks like?
That's a great question, mostly because I anticipated it and have an answer for you. Um, I think tonight is like 98% ready to be sent out. Like I'm so happy with it. And I would want my short film edited so I could also like present that. And the pilot that I'm writing right now is sort of in the same, I guess, world as Tonight. Like it's the
Oh, okay.
same type of voice. This takes place in 1989. It's the same like type of I don't know, queer coming of age, like burst of excitement, comedy meets drama with a little bit of heart. And I feel like this is going to write itself pretty quickly as well. And I think with those three things, I'd probably be positioned decently. But please tell me that I'm fully wrong and I need like something else, you know? Like I want to just like rely on you and like do everything you tell me to do, you know? So
No,
let me
yeah. Well,
know.
it was a really, really fun read, and there were like relatable characters, and it was a very exciting read. And I think the pacing of it, I could tell that like you were really in the flow. But yeah, I think there are some things that I would love to add that I think will only like
Yeah,
help the
please.
script just a bit more. And for the bulk of the thing, like I feel like everything's there in terms of character development. I think within, the stakes that you had in the script and just conflict, I think it was really, I think all the pieces are there. I think we just move some things around. I think it's
Okay.
really gonna shine. So I'm happy to get into that.